Hey everyone, welcome to the Sitch Show with Alain Jean-Baptiste, Ashley Mathieu, and Matthew Stapley. Actually, I have to read that for a moment because my monitor just froze. So today we're going to be looking at a lot of nice stuff in order to help you again under these unprecedented times. Today we're lucky it's a show about you know what, which is a moment in history. Is today the U.S. elections. We're going to look at how to deal with your lost dreams. Also, we're going to be talking about the good shit as usual. And again, I want to welcome my co-hosts, Ashley Mathieu and Matthew Stapley, that are going to join me today for this wonderful show. Again, we'll be looking at some readings around the end. And hi, guys.
Hey.
So the big day, and I'm not talking about snow day because today I woke up and there's beautiful snow.
Now, what the shit is this?
It's cool. I love it.
Me too.
It's nice. My car heater wasn't working, so I'm lucky the garage was able to fix it today. But today is a big day, not only for us, but I think it's worldwide. Everybody's asking the question: who's going to win, Biden or Trump? All right. Now, I think it's important for people, and I'm not going to go into U.S. politics right now because I think we've had enough for a while. And I think most people don't want to be here for that. I know people are going to ask us.
It's like an endless SNL skit.
Exactly. Who's going to win?
But Meryl Streep's going to win.
What are your thoughts on it, guys?
This is okay. So regardless of if there's a U.S. election going on, I'm pretty sure the United States for the last, 3.5, 4 years has just been an endless Saturday Night Live skit. It doesn't end. So,
That's quite true.
My thoughts on the U.S. election, what's going on, I don't really know. It seems like people are pretty unpredictable down in the States. And I don't really trust the Electoral College either. So there's that. But I think the most concerning thing for me, though, with all of this is because everyone knows I love my TikTok. On there are videos of people showing boarded up businesses.
Yes, they did that. They started doing that a day or two ago. What?
We don't do that here. We go get a Tim Hortons coffee. We wait in line. We vote. We high five someone, not now because it's COVID, and then we walk our asses home. Like what? It's crazy to me. I don't know.
True. Well, I think they're
Big words.
Preparing for civil unrest, like later tonight, right? Matthew, what are your comments on it? Or what's your take?
You know what? It's okay. So at a psychic level, this is the weirdest thing ever. I've been able to predict pretty much every Canadian U.S. election for like the last several, and usually like almost a year in advance with like zero problem. It just comes in. This one is weird because we're like down to the wire. I still cannot see who's going to win, and that to me is really fucked up and weird because it's like, I'm not saying I'm able to see everything because we all know that no psychic can see everything, but I have a really good track record with election predictions. And for whatever reason, this is just showing up as like this weird abyss. So I think Meryl Streep is going to win or should as like queen of the world, or Helen Mirren or somebody else. They could have a gladiator competition and probably just not kill each other because they're good people. No, it's very strange. I am concerned. I'm concerned about people in the U.S. for two reasons. One, I'm afraid that they're going to get stuck with a shitty leader. The second, and maybe equally to that, is I'm afraid of people being so afraid. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie V for Vendetta, but I love this one part that says people should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people. And I think that is something that is beautifully true. And it's something that has been hugely lost in democracy in the last, like forever. So, I think this is a time not only for people to shine with their vote in the U.S., but equally to that, if not maybe even more so, the ability to shine their light into the world so that we can change the world, right? Because we are at a prime time in history where we can really shift things rapidly because everything is so intense. If we look at healing a person, there's a period of ungrounding when somebody is in a state of healing. There's a period where everything comes to the surface and there's anxiety and there's inner turmoil and fighting and, ego death and all of that. it's no different at a global scale. Like, you cannot make a tasty soup with cold water. You need the heat. You need the things to roll around and bubble and boil to get the flavors to move. But this, in terms of our world events, we are in the prime time to make a good tasting soup. And it's all about the ingredients that we're putting into that, and maybe the ones that we're taking out. That's my 5 cents.
No soup for you.
You're making me hungry. You're making me hungry.
Reminded me of Seinfeld. Every time someone says soup, I remember the soup Nazi.
The soup Nazi. I was actually there.
Back of line.
I was actually there in New York. So doing a tour, you have to go and your feet have to follow. And if you mess it up, it's like you're out. It's like no soup for you. So, but you're right about Viva Vendetta, which is cool because my son kept wanting to get that mask, and he told me at the last minute, so we weren't able to get it. So I let him watch it, even though it's a bit violent. And then I explained to him, it's a show. So, that's mostly, in the old days, I'd say that's cool, but now I view it more as like a little bit of a terrorism. But the one thing that you said that's very important, and then I learned myself when I met Bill Clinton at a conference maybe 10 years ago, is Bill Clinton was saying never in history has there been more power to the people, because now it's the people making the choices and the decisions and creating the big businesses, right? Which affect policies. And so I think for now, for some people that might ask questions a bit later, we'll go back to it. But I think at the moment, under all these conditions that we're facing, and, I have a famous line from Game of Thrones, winter is coming. So I think a lot of people now, again, are getting more and more exhausted of COVID and, the uncertainties, as Ashley was mentioning a while ago, for the gyms or for other businesses like restaurants and stuff like that.
Now throw an election in.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's important for people to start realizing that, looking back at what are some of the dreams they've lost if they own businesses, or, even I'm not sure where most people are from today, but Halloween here, I didn't even dress up for it. Storm didn't dress up for it. I didn't see any kids really passing Halloween. And now Christmas is coming. And all these dreams that people have had in terms of businesses, all week I've been dealing with people that are, thinking of closing. They're asking me, are they going to close, or should they close and then stop for a while, or use government fundings, where it's here, or in the US, it's even harder right now because of all the confusion. And I keep telling them, you know what, just even if you're losing your dream, it doesn't mean you can't have another one. Because part of COVID is to realize, to create a new vision, right? And to start valuing yourself, to be able to communicate more with your inner child, adolescent, young adult, and actually create something new for yourself. So how about you?
I don't think Trump wants to create anything new for himself.
Just the same old, dictatorship.
I don't know. I think, with COVID that we're still kind of going through, we are going through, and I'm personally still dealing with the repercussions of it. And then, in Canada, I think we're good, and we're watching down on the United States like we typically do. Like, we watch more American news than we do Canadian, just because ours is pretty boring. But
well, they have more channels.
Yeah. But to see, all of us around the world going through COVID, and then now there's a US election, and then seeing what's happening, like you're saying, like civil unrest in the United States, where, who was it? Someone made a comment. Carla, she said Boston is all boarded up. Like, I love Boston. I think Boston is gorgeous. I love Boston. Same with my sister, actually. And to hear that a really beautiful city like Boston is being boarded up, and just to picture plywood everywhere based on people having the freedom to vote and bring in a new representative, or possibly bring in a new representative, I'll rephrase that, to the United States, I think it's troubling to me, but it also shows as humanity, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you guys are visibly ready to stir some shit. But for what reason? Like, what is the point behind casting a vote? Okay, you lost. Suck it the fuck up. Now you're gonna go smash a business. You're gonna go smash someone's hard-working family business. And to me, it's wrong on so many levels. Like, you're not gonna get your point across by smashing your economy, and that's basically what they're doing. I don't understand.
Yeah, and you know what I think it is? It is scary, in general. I think it's scary for kind of everybody. I think this period of time that we're moving into, it's something that's been repeated over and over again in history. The only difference now is that we all can talk to each other in 2 seconds like that because of email and phone calls and social media and everything. I think that what people are experiencing right now is unprecedented, but the cycle is something that has happened many times.
I think the most important part for people to realize also is that before any new dream is chaos, and that our sense of voice, which enables us to, also when people are rebelling because there's a new dream, you think of Black Lives Matters, you think about Me Too movement, there's a lot of different movements around the world. Some have a bigger voice than others, but the most important part I think for myself is that people need to realize that it's not that through violence that it's going to work even more.
Yeah. And you know what? I think,
and then they just don't listen. If you think of Gandhi, if you think of Martin Luther King, for just, since we're talking about the US today, there's some here. We just did the Terry
Muhammad
Fox,
Ali.
not this year, but Terry Fox for Cancer was a voice for people for cancer, And in that sensing, it was done peacefully, which every year people and, little children that I was doing with Storm, we check where the trajectory was. I don't know if you say that in English, the trajectory. That sounded like a plane. But in any case, you could see his journey, and he wanted to stop, and he said it hurts, but it's not about the hurt. It's about the fact that he wants to have something that is going to keep going. And I think people, when they think about the election today, because I know we have people from the US, is that don't necessarily look at the person you're voting for. Look at what the issues that person is going to cover, or that he's going to say he's going to cover and work on. I mean, that's the most important part. It's not the form. It's what are your values and what do you want? Is it more, money for businesses? Is it more money for employees? Is it social aspects? That's what changed some of the elections here. I think it was the NDP one in the West somewhere.
Yeah.
I forget specifically where, but it's got people, under COVID, the disability, people with disability, the daycares, the schools, those are the things that are the most important right now. And you have to get back to being able to go to core values that actually build countries.
I think people also need to be more constructive with what they want or what their needs are. Like if I look at an example, let's just take Ottawa as one, because that's what I'm familiar with. But restaurants, bars, gyms, we've all been shut down. We're not out here smashing shit, but we are out here creating a coalition. And that's a coalition amongst myself, studio owner, CrossFit, and we've come together as a voice with, not against, Ottawa Public Health and our provincial government. And over the last 3 weeks, we've had a lot of conversation and constructive conversation. We may not both agree to points that we're making on either side, but what's huge about this, and I wish more people would do this, is if you can be mature about shit and sit down and talk about the entire discussion, bring your points across, and come to an even ground, or even sometimes maybe a little bit more uneven, to agree to disagree to move forward. That's what's important. We're not out here, being assholes in demonstrations. We're not smashing things. We're not just out here completely disrespecting society or a government. We're actually sitting down and having a conversation. And we're actually getting forward. I know a lot of people are saying that we're not getting forward, but we are, because we're having answers. Our word is being heard. And now we're having the government acknowledge, hey, we may have screwed up and we may have shut businesses down that shouldn't have been shut down. Why? Because we've created constructive noise forward. We're not being assholes about it. And I think if people really want change, we all need to work together, even if we disagree. And I think that's the biggest part where people are missing, where people like us, we've all just come together and now change is happening. Now, will we be all reopen? I think on Saturday, I think it's supposed to be. I don't know. But at the end of the day, they're hearing us and they're acknowledging us at this point.
I think it's interesting because, like, when we look at, exactly what you're talking about, people coming together, creating change, all of that, I think most people probably feel like they don't know where they fit into that, right? Like they don't know, because they may not own a business or a gym, or they may not be involved in anything that requires a voice in the moment. But I wonder, I think all of us every single day, or most days, if you're crazy, like at least 3 of us are, we're constantly setting goals for things, in our personal lives. And I think when people go and set goals for something, I think if they include a goal, like a part within their personal goals for their community, the things that they want to change within their environment, that would be a good way to kind of, for everybody to get involved in something. I think if we all made it part of our personal, things that we aspire to become, if we added a component, at least a small component of that to the world around us, like something that we can, like, I don't know, for example, I like helping people. I also like having, a live full of people because it feels like I'm walking into the best party ever. Like I love it. And it really doesn't have to do with me. It's just like the togetherness, and I love watching people help each other in the chat and all of that. And it warms my heart. But, if part of my goal was to reach, like Molly, whose grandmother died of septicemia in 1912, to deliver her a message of hope, I think if we all created a component to our personal goals, whatever they happen to be, that involve reaching outside of our personal space to help around us, I think that everybody could have the wonderful feeling that you probably have, Ashley, of coming together, not as enemies, but as like a cooperative group,
a unit,
even though it's coming from different angles and maybe has different understandings. I think if all of us add something into our personal goals that incorporate the world around us, I think this world would be a much better place.
Well, here's what's funny, is we all look outside. Most of us have white shit on the ground right now. Okay? It's white shit. I'm allowed to say that. I'm allowed to say that. So going back to what Matt was just saying and what I was saying earlier, the kind of unit, the camaraderie, and not being dick to one another. There's snow on the ground. Now, where I live, we're all pretty tight on the street. We all kind of know each other. But there's some people that don't really care. This winter, people, if you know that your neighbor is gone, or if you live in a townhouse where your laneway is attached to someone else's laneway, do not be that asshole and take your shovel and make a line right down the damn middle of that laneway, full well knowing you can make 8 more steps to finish their laneway when they're not home. Like, let's just all work together. I was talking to my neighbor about that, where like our laneways, they're not huge. Like I can fit 2 into mine. But if my neighbor's gone, I just continue walking and I'll just do hers. Like, it's really not that hard, guys. I mean, if you have 1,500 feet of snow, okay, that sucks. Maybe work together on that one. But, and if you have a snowblower, that's even worse. Like when you know that one guy has a snowblower, their neighbor doesn't, and you draw that line with your snowblower down the middle. Like, come on.
I need a new snowblower because Storm decided my snowblower was hungry, so he fed it apple juice.
Yeah.
So my brother came, he says, forget it, it's finished.
It's done.
You should have seen the smoke. It was unreal. So in any case, what I'm hearing from everybody is that,
shovel my laneway.
As we talk about the new world, the world of Dominion, it's mostly about cooperation and sharing, using creativity to create new solutions for things. And I talked about lost dreams a while ago, and getting back to that, one of the most important thing is a lot of people are reluctant to recognize and admit they've lost some of those dreams, and they just give up. And so it's always important to have hope, especially now. Today is about hope. Hope that in the future, things will get better. Now, without going into who's going to win, one thing I do see fast is that when things start to move around, there'll be new levels of cooperation with the United States, with other countries, and
Biden
will be able to be done a little bit more quicker and through cooperation and through levels of government. So centralized more again.
So what you're saying is
what I'm
Biden.
saying, I hope that everybody works together today to be able to remember that they have the power, and it's called a vote. And now there's other countries in the world, and I'm not sure if there's people from South Africa here or other countries. I'm not saying South Africa because I knew there was some people there from last time, but some countries are still striving to get that vote, to have the individuals actually vote for a leader and not have, somebody like a dictator or people that are not going to listen to him and keep power for, I'm not going to name the president who decided to put himself into power for the next couple of decades. I think there's about 2 or 3 of those. So it's important, like I mentioned a while ago, President Bill Clinton saying, you have the power now. You have the ability to choose who you want to reflect your voice, to reflect your issues that you want to deal with.
Get out and vote, people.
That's the most important part here. And for people to remember that you need to recognize if you've lost those dreams, have hope, create a new vision, and be willing again to be abundant. Now, it takes time sometimes to be abundant. And again, abundance can be in terms of prosperity, it could be in terms of family, life, success. I coach a lot of people, and, they talk to me about success all the time, just to realize at one point, they don't know that much about success. They just know about making more money. They don't know about the width of success, which is about helping others. They don't know about the depth of success, which is actually taking the time to enjoy it, not making money, not seeing your family, messing up your health over time, just waiting for that, special bonus or recognition. And so it's important, I think, at this point in time to remember that, since most people now, I've read something, somebody a while ago saying they were on lockdown or curfew or something in that sensing till 10. We have a 10 o'clock lockdown. It's in place until 5 a.m. Could be for the next month for Carla Dubé. So in that sensing, a lot of people, as I mentioned the last time we did our show about loneliness, is to change it to recognize that solitude can be a new platform for you to get to the next level. That being home or staying home actually means going back to being yourself, recognizing who you truly are, and at the same time recognizing who you're not anymore. You've changed, probably because of age, maturity, recognizing what success is for you or not, and actually going to create new goals, as Matthew mentioned a while ago. Put yourself new goals. Now, due to stress, anxiety, and all those mental health issues we're seeing more and more, make those SMART, which means specific, measurable, achievable, but most of all, realistic in a time frame that you can do. Okay. I had a new client come up yesterday. I said, listen, we're going to go slowly because I sense you're fragile. She's probably going through a burnout. And I said, listen, we'll go one step at a time. And I know, Ashley, you offer coaching also sometimes. It's about that. It's about,
I'm very blunt with my coaching, though. You can't have if you have hurt feelings really easily.
Yeah, it's probably.
I go straight for the kill.
Correct. It's probably.
You do.
Well, Ashley for that part. But in any case, what I'm trying to say is that, build some goals, do them not in concrete, but make them flexible so that you go step by step towards reaching them. This will help your self-esteem, your ability to evaluate, estimate the reality you create, not what your mom, dad, or your cousin, or your teachers, or whoever. That's important, but at the same time, it has to come from you. The choice has to be your choice. And then from there, then you move on over and over and over. I mean, I learned from Ashley. I learned from Matthew. I was just asking Matthew, how can you help so many people online all the time? And your numbers keep growing. So I learned from him. I'm like, okay, this will work. This doesn't work. I'll stop that. I'll change that. And it's a process. Find a mentor, find a coach, whether it be us, whether it be somebody else. Just find somebody to get accountability and to help you. You can't get up in the morning because you're too tired or you had a bad night. You can sleep. Okay, take some time to rest or talk to somebody, your accountability person, and then go from there step by step. I think right?
One of the points you're talking about, I think will fit well with going on in the election, since I'll stick onto that topic, is a lot of people change, I don't necessarily change their belief, but get super mad or frustrated or aggravated based on the result of a vote. And they end up changing how they react to people or situations or outcomes. And I think with the elections going on in the States, one, go out and just vote, because if you don't vote, you can't bitch. And if the vote does not come out in your favor, instead of being upset about it and fighting with your family or neighbor, which I see a lot of that of in the States, continue about your life and continue supporting other people and just being a good human, regardless of the president that you may or will have. You need to really stick to who you are and support those around you, regardless if it's Trump or Biden or a fucking unicorn. Like, go about your way,
Meryl
be a good
Streep.
person.
The store down the street, I thought of you. The store down the street has a huge horse with a unicorn on it. I have to take a picture of it. I'll get my car. I'll send it to you. Now, what's important is that she said again is that you have the power. Remember your values. And I remember seeing Bill Gates, and he was in India, I believe, doing an interview for an Indian television. And they said, why don't you run for, thank you. Why don't you run for, president? He says, well, I don't usually think in terms of short span, 4-year thinking. And he says, I think I could do more good now by actually, doing what we're doing with our charity to be able to create what we want for the world. That's cute.
I got to vote.
Okay. So again,
Nothing for Meryl Streep. Seriously, guys, she's like amazing. Come on.
She's old news.
Yeah. No.
Where's it? I want to touch on Scotty. Scotty just said, Scotty Watson, how do I go about controlling my dreams? I'm kind of crazy lately. I think it's due to stress. Here's the thing. You can't control that shit. Whatever's going on in your life, if you dream, deal with it. You're not going to be able to control what your dreams are, because when you're in that state, your brain will do what it wants to do. It's how you deal with it after.
I wrote, allow yourself to rest more and read more positive books so that your subconscious mind actually has a foundation to go back to.
Are you trying to NLP me right now?
Yes.
My advice would be not to focus on controlling the dreams, but focus on your response to the dreams that you have. So if you have terrible, god-awful nightmares, separate that from reality. Also, for dream interpretation, whether it's subconscious, psychic, symbolic, whatever, Carl Jung's method of dream interpretation is amazing. It's where you see yourself, or you interpret yourself as every single part of the dream. So if you interpret yourself as you, the bad guy, like the tree, like whatever you remember, whether it's an object or a person or a creature, you interpret all of that as different aspects of yourself. It's like crazy good. Like, it is a really cool method. My friend Maureen Landry taught me how to do that. And it's a
Maureen McDonald?
No, Maureen Landry. Yeah.
Love Maureen.
Yeah, both Maureens are freaking amazing. Both of them hopefully know that by now. Yeah.
All right. In terms of now we're going to go towards the good shit, which is, I believe the person you were trying to contact, Matt, is actually there.
I got a hold of them.
Did you?
I did, down to the wire. So we've got 2 piles of good shit today.
Good job.
We do. So I'm going to go with one very quick shout out to people called Dinosaurs and Friends Orleans, which is this awesome group of people. You can join their Facebook group. You can ask that dinosaurs visit special occasions, or if people need to be cheered up or inspired or whatever, they will bring dinosaurs and friends to you, absolutely free of charge. It's all about spreading that good dino vibe. The other one that we came across is a guy named Michel Vigras, and he is Michael or Michel, the wildflower designer. And I love his idea, the thing that he has created, the idea and concept he's created. Now, this is not free of charge, but it is so good that we couldn't not mention it. And what he's doing, he owns a flower shop on Maryville Road. We will, Michelle, if you're here, please post your contact information for your
contact, your website. Okay.
Yeah, all of that in
you
chat.
have it, you could put it here also.
Yeah,
for both.
perfect. So what he does is people can go into his shop, or they can buy a flower arrangement, and I think he's calling it Christmas. I had to read it while we were live because he wrote me back at the last second. Mind you, I wrote him at the last second. It's called Christmas Smiles. And so you can go in, you can purchase an arrangement, and you can send it anonymously to an old age home or retirement home, nursing home, what have you, to bring smile and cheer to people that are in those care homes' faces at this time of year during this difficult time. I think it's beautiful, and while it's not free of charge, it is so cool. We can send these anonymous arrangements to people, and I believe that you can address it to a person, or you can just address it to the nursing home, and they will take it to whoever they feel really needs that lift up, right? And so I think I love it. I live for that stuff. I mean, I'm absolutely going to get off of this podcast and call Michelle at Michael Wildflower Arrangements on Maryville, and I'm going to do it because I think those things are absolutely beautiful and something that is one of those things that will make the world a better place. So, that is the good shit for this week. 2 piles. That's 4. 2.
Brock, is this a weekly show? I sure hope so. You're damn right it is. Every Tuesday at noon.
Now, I think we could even make it even more fun by asking people next time or next week, because I know some people, I see some top fans. For some people, maybe in their area, if they have somebody that would like to be part of the
mentioned,
Don't leave us a good shit list. Do not
Michael,
leave us a good shit list.
Michael, do you have a Facebook page? Because that'd be easy to share too.
He does, and I will.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Michael.
Because I know you were mentioned on our on my Facebook page. That's how we kind of found you there. But if you have a specific Facebook page, feel free to send that to us. I'd be more than happy to also put it on my stuff as well.
Yeah, so I encourage people next week. This is something new. I just made it up. If you have something that you would like to tell us in terms of your area or somebody, even if it's national or provincial or statewide or local, just let us know. We have to look at it first. So maybe you want to do it during the week so that the next week we filter it just to make sure that there's no spam or, advertising for products, because this is not we don't do product placements. We just want to, give more love and unicorns to people. And so, that would be good if you can do that by next week. Thank you, Michael, for the website. For those of you wondering, it's right there. And then at the same time, we have the readings, which will start in a couple of minutes. Is there anything else for the good shit, Matthew?
That is the good shit for this week. But we welcome more good shit stories, because I think that it's honestly my favorite part of the whole show is the good shit, if I'm being totally honest. Not just because the good shit was my grandma's hooker name, but
because you like blocking my face. That's why you like blocking my face.
I didn't know that's I'm gonna deal with dreams.
No, like the good shit is definitely named after my grandmother's hooker career. Absolutely.
Okay. That's good. Oh boy, what kind of dreams will I have tonight? Anyways,
but you better Carl Jung the shit out of it and tell me tomorrow.
Exactly. Archetypes are gonna get to me. All right, so Ashley, if you want to pick somebody, we'll start. We can do a couple of readings. Before we go on to our thing called As Against Humanity. It's a card game that, to be honest with you, it's a card game that I have no idea how. They try to explain it to me, but like most stuff, I just don't get. And so I'm going to let Ashley and Matthew talk about that a bit later. If you have any questions in terms of intuitive stuff, now would be the time. It'll take about a 10 15 minutes to go from it. And I'll let Matthew start because I'm trying to figure out this thing.
All right, let's see. Who would like a reading? Let's do specific questions.
Yes, correct. So before we start, just so we have an understanding, because Matthew and I work differently, you need to have a specific question. Don't ask me, what do you see? Because I'm just going to say I see Matthew, Ashley, and I. In terms of if you have questions that are more general, try to make it a little bit more specific. Again, respect other people at the same time that might be asking questions. There's a delay in terms of technology sometimes, and it depends how fast
my brain
it comes and if we do have one, and then we'll go from there. All right. So the idea is just to have fun. Let's go at it.
Do you want me to go first?
Après vous, mon ami Mathieu.
All right, I'll do it now.
That was French.
Je sais.
Si, senor.
Qu'est-ce que le fuck was that? No, I'm just kidding. All right, I'm going to go to Mariana Ortiz, who says, can I send you good shit from the States? Wait. Yes, first of all, yes, you can send good shit from the States, but I also saw that you asked a question. And I'm just going to find it.
I think it was up for...
Okay, I found it. Okay, I would love some insight into my love life, please. All right, Marianne, as I'm stepping into the energy of your love life, the first thing that I'm getting immediately when I step into your energy is a block in the throat chakra. And to me, this is talking about your ability to communicate. I don't think this is a current major issue that you have. I feel like this has been an issue in the past. And this is about having the confidence to state what you want and need and to allow yourself to be vulnerable. They're saying that you're coming to the end of this self-protected period. And I really feel like that block isn't a bad blockage. It really was about self-protection. They're saying that over the last 3 years, you've been in a state of bringing energy back to yourself. And so because of that, I feel like it's been really hard for you to let those walls down. You know, when somebody presents themselves in an ER and they're in pain, they're like this. It's called guarding. And I feel like you are emotionally guarding yourself over the last little while. I do feel like that will begin to change even this month and next month. I feel like before the end of December, you're going to feel a greater flow of energy with being able to communicate. You're going to feel like you got your sparkle back and your shine back. I feel like changes in your love life will happen in the first 5 months of the new year and will be a slow progression forward. So they're saying the first step is to get you in a good space so your walls come down. The second step is going to be that getting your spark back, which I see happening automatically. You don't have to do anything at this point to make that happen. That is not currently in your current path. I very much feel that the first 5 months of the new year will be this crescendo of more flow within your love life. They're not showing me specific events that are happening at that time. They're just showing me you getting into the kind of space you want in that part of your life. And things look really good. By the way, next August, they're showing me you in a happy, loving, secure, healthy relationship. So when that starts or whatever, I can't see, but I do see that this is something that will be there at least by that time. And I just heard the word Springland. And so I feel like this is going to be some kind of a place that you're going to end up going in that month. I see the last week of August. No, sorry, I'm going to correct that. I see the last part of the 3rd week of August, you going on this trip. I see there's going to be 2 women and a man going with you. One of these women is young and she's got dark hair, at least by that time, with light highlights in it. And the other woman feels like she is around your age, maybe a little bit older. Not calling you old by saying the other one was young, by the way. The person that I see you going with on this trip, this other figure who I can't see clearly, is the person that I see you with for a very long time. And it looks absolutely wonderful. And I expect a postcard.
Yeah.
That was a good brief one. Excellent.
Sorry. When it starts, I can't stop it.
I know. I'm looking at what you're seeing and I'm like, okay, I get this one, I get this one, I get this one. So for myself, Mariana, sorry, did I say that? Mariana, sorry, I believe. Again, I'm getting messages in terms of valuing yourself more. I see about, like Matthew said, about 2 years. He said 2, 3, I believe. In terms of trust and vulnerability is what you have to work a little bit more on or allow in. The vulnerability part will take about 3 months from now. There's something a little bit more that'll probably unlock for you in the next 2 weeks or a little bit more around the end of November, December. I'm getting the summer 2021 and I'm getting more freedom after that, after June, July, or probably Matthew said August. There's more freedom. There's more light-spirited. I see you laughing. I can hear you laughing more. You seem to be in a relationship in which you allow yourself to be more, I get freestyle. It's not freestyle. It's more, how do you call it?
Rapper.
No.
You're going to become a rapper.
Just allowing yourself to be more, that female energy, that fun, that loving, that ability to be more graceful. But I believe the most part is for you to start valuing yourself more. I think maybe a year or 2 ago, something happened in terms of relationship for you that probably influenced where you are right now. So that'll be slowly starting to change over the next 3 months. And by, like I said, next year, summer 2021, there's more flow. There's more, your voice will grow also at the same time. I'm not talking physical voice, but your ability to express yourself and live in a relationship and allow it in really is what is coming for you. You'll also have more resolve to wanting to allow yourself to be in a relationship and allow yourself to be more vulnerable. Vulnerable being a positive thing this time, not just issues of lack of trust. All right.
One pant leg up.
What? Okay, go. I hope that helped. If we'll go with another person, Ashley
What? You want to pick someone?
That would be the point, yes.
Uh,
Free. Thank you, Cass. That's what I was looking for.
It's all kind of the same questions here. You guys are boring.
You're
Come
not
on, man.
boring. We all have our own.
Y'all
shit,
asking
and
the
a lot
same
of it is
questions. Are we
similar.
all worrying about the same shit right now?
Do you know what? When I was single, oh my, actually, you know how crazy I was, and I was one of those people in the pool of when is it going to happen, and nobody's questions are stupid.
You know what?
But you're right.
Erica,
I think we're all in that sensing.
Erica Manolakos, is that Greek? Would love some insight on my career path if possible. See, I like that one because it's different.
Manolak. What do you do right now, Erica? Is she still there?
Yeah, it's gonna be delayed though. Ooh.
Okay, while she's answering that.
Yeah, she's here.
Okay, perfect.
Brock's got a good one too.
My question was, what kind of career do you have right now? And while you're doing that, I'll answer Brock. Yes, there is a way for you to get back to using your intuition. One of it would be to start working more with your spirit guides. I believe we've done an exercise with that a while back, but I can send you a link later. That is a documentary that I have that could probably help you. So I'll send you the link a little bit later. And I think Matthew, has a course this weekend, right? Matt?
I do. Yeah, I do. I have a workshop. Yeah, it's a 1-hour workshop in card reading. So it really, you can bring any cards you want to it because I'm teaching the process of it and how to interpret it, not based on traditional meanings, but based on your intuition. So if you have tarot cards, oracle cards, playing cards, cards against humanity, like whatever you want, you can use Post-it notes. I don't really care. I will teach you guys how to tune into your intuition, how to interpret cards very easily. You could even go and get a stack of random business cards. Like it really, whatever you have around you, if it's flat and you can shuffle it, we're good. It is $10 US or approximately $13.50 Canadian. It will be over Zoom, not because I don't love you guys, but because I don't want to get sick and I don't want you guys to get sick either. So yeah, if you're interested, I will post the link in the chat of how to register for that. It will be over Zoom, 1 p.m. Eastern time this Saturday. Yeah, that's my class.
Kill beans.
Perfect. So we'll be sending those links. We could put them inside a little bit later as we go towards the end. Going back to Erica now, I'm all over the place. I guess you could say I'm at stay-at-home mom. I work with Pendulum. So in terms of career path, just give me a moment here. I think in this case, it's mostly in terms of self-confidence and how to market yourself. That'll take a little bit of time. I'm seeing probably close to next year around springtime. I'm going to check here in terms of calendar because it's next year. I think you could get some traction around February, a little bit more confidence, and then go from there, like maybe little groups, or I'm seeing you probably talked with other people either by Zoom or small groups, but it seemed to be through the internet. So probably also if you want to join little groups so that you can practice those type of things. But in terms of doing that a little bit more on the full time, I would say I see you staying at home for a little bit and then over time making some money aside in that sensing. Matt, I'll let you.
I didn't unfortunately get anything on it, and the reason why is I was focusing on another question, which I know is not what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, perfect. So Matt, if you want to go, thank you, Erica. I hope this helps. Matt, if you want to go to the other question that you were looking for.
I'm just scrolling up to find it. Sorry, give me like 40 seconds. Okay, I cannot find. Oh wait, shit, where'd it go? It was it. Anyway, I remember what it is. I'm not going to post it because I can't find it and I don't want to take all the time in the world. But it was for Monia Charlebois, who says, "Am I going to be okay?" The message that I got when I read your question was, you are already okay, and you're already on the path to being more okay. When I went into your energy, when I saw that question, the first thing that I got was like red and purple swirling around your head, and to me, purple's a very psychic color, and red is a very anxious color. And so what I got from that, because the purple in this sense had like a weird wooziness to it. To me, that's an illusionary energy. So they're saying by showing me that all of the fears that are currently running through you at 1,000,000 miles an hour, Monia, are not necessarily real. They could be based on real things, but this has amplified a lot of it. And so what I invite you to do, wow, I sounded like an HR person. Anyway, what I invite you to do is to sit with yourself for a moment and ask yourself, are you truly not okay? Or are you uncomfortable? And your guides are coming forward and they're saying they want you to learn to see the difference between those two things. I feel like you're already in the path of getting better, of feeling better and all of that. But in the way to get there, they're saying, is to get a really honest look at what your current state of being is. It's very, very, very important. I feel like if you don't, then you will sort of prolong this period of being stuck in kind of illusion and fear and all of that. So I very, very much feel that if you can sort of get like a good check-in with yourself as often as needed, that is going to help. That is going to help. And to answer Brock's question, yes, the info is on my page. Yeah.
I also included the link for how to develop your 7 lost senses or 12 senses. And I think Ashley will give a link for coaching because you mentioned a while ago you were doing that also. So
yeah, I started my new pivot program.
That's okay.
It starts on the 17th of November. Pretty excited for it.
Okay, I spend time with someone who gets very down. Will this change, and is there anything I can do to help them? Brandy, just a moment here. I think you'll have to be careful that it doesn't bring you too down, because I do sense that your morale or your own mental health is going down a little bit. I'm going to look here in terms of the months here or weeks coming ahead. November the 1st. Yeah. Okay. So yes. So the thing I'm listening to is that you have to learn a little bit more about empathy and compassion, which will enable you to bridge, not to bridge, but to create sort of your light shield, it's called, in which you recognize that the other person is living something hard, and that it enables you to recognize that that's their reality at the same time, not necessarily just yours, and that you don't have to be engulfed or overwhelmed by it, and that you allow it to be what it is by respect for and dignity, but at the same time that you're not being overwhelmed yourself so that you get crushed by it. And over time, I do sense that your shield, maybe in about 3 weeks, if you start doing that, you'll see some changes for December. But again, remember that sometimes some people that when they're sick, that it's not their fault at the same time, right? There's a difference between mental health and those people that are just pessimist. But in that sensing, if you recognize that and use compassion and learn more about empathy, you'll be able to sort of distance yourself, all the while being respectful, recognizing their dignity, and also allowing yourself for self-respect and self-love for you, and not as much defeat your own self-confidence and self-esteem from the things that you're hearing or the weight that is being carried down. All right, I could go on and on, but I'm actually going to step out of that resonance myself. And I hope it helped. Thank you very much. And so in terms of now, we're going to be playing our new game, which is
Cards of Humanity.
I know. I still don't know what that means, but okay, just give me a second. If anybody, just a second. Where did I just put that? Okay, so
you stop hiding me.
The card is called Dear Abby, I'm having some trouble with and would like your advice. Is that what I'm just supposed to say?
I don't know. Why is my face always being blocked? This is discrimination.
Where? Oh, yeah.
Right here.
Let me see if I can. I'll try and fix it. I don't know if it'll work, but we'll give it a whirl. There we go.
Your own face.
Nice.
All right.
So Matt, do you want to show the card? Is that?
Well, I have to pick one.
Oh, I thought that's the one you gave me. Okay.
No, that's the black card, and then we have to fill in that blank. So it's Dear Abby, I'm having trouble with blank and would like some advice.
Correct.
Oh man.
Oh wait, I have the card. I can read it. Dear Abby, I'm having some trouble with blank and would love your advice. Oh.
So are the people supposed to say something?
How many cards are we allowed to pick, Matt?
Is there one blank or two?
There's only one blank.
So then we pick one card.
One card.
One card.
But like, how many can we pick from?
I just grabbed a handful. I think it's
There.
going to be 7. So we'll pretend that I have 7 cards in my hand instead of like 40. Oh, it's so hard. I'm like stuck between 3. I'm really stuck
A little
between
music.
3.
Na-na-na-na-na-na.
So then we'll just like flip them over. No, we'll read them, and then you and the people in the chat can vote on it, I guess.
Okay.
Oh man.
Okay, so I went through my little stack and picked 3.
Okay, I have picked 3 too. I cannot unpick them. Maybe we should read them
trouble.
all out and then let people. No, we can't do that.
You can't do that. No. Dear Abby, I'm having
You
trouble.
name them, and I'll decide which one we take.
Yeah.
Because we have like 6 minutes left.
All right, so this is number 1, number 2, or number 3.
Okay, boss. Go for number 2, the one in the middle.
Oh, that's a bad one. Okay.
Great, my luck.
I feel like I just took the onus off.
Oh wait, are we all picking the second card?
Yeah, so no, you'll pick the one most on your left.
So my first card.
That one you have, like that one, yeah. The one
Okay.
you just flipped. Okay, so I will start, since yours is so bad, Matt, I'll start with Ashley to get sort of like a warm-up. All right, hit me.
Okay, so the black card says, "Dear Abby, I'm having some trouble with licking things to claim them as your own, and would like your advice."
All right, so
That was my
wait for
second
people's
pick. That was the
response.
first one.
Licking
Do you
things
know?
to make
do you
them
know-
your own. Okay, and you'd
It's-
like some advice. Okay.
It's a good thing that he picked card number 2, because look what one of the other cards in my hand was.
No.
Oh, cool.
Okay, we would have had a.
No, hold on.
Prove I'm a psychic with those little
Look
squares and
how big
stars.
the thing of cards
I
is.
know.
There you go.
I'm aware.
Okay, cool.
That's so funny.
Okay, so dear Abby, I have having trouble with crumbs all over the goddamn carpet and would like your advice.
All right. So does anybody have any advice for crumbs on the carpet?
You're
And
licking things to claim them as your own.
all right, Storm does that. So I ordered pizza on Pizza Thursdays, right, to make it like school. And so his little friends there, and I'm seeing the pizzas are halfway eaten. I said, "Why are you doing that?" He says, "Well, those are going to be mine." I said, "Well, they're cut. Why don't you just pick some?"
You know, I feel like if we stick these 2 cards together, they do kind of almost solve a problem, really. Like, if we lick the crumbs that are all over the goddamn carpet to claim them as
And licking
our
things
own,
will claim them as your own.
yeah, like it works out. And maybe if you lick it really like excitedly and quickly, you'll just clean the carpet. So, dear Abby will not be required. All right, who won, Elaine? Who's funnier?
Juanita said, "Get a cat, licking the crumbs off your plate to call them your own." Okay. And so I think the one so far is get a cat. That would probably solve the problem with the rug. And also the one with Ashley, which is licking to make it your own. That's actually
I won.
Oh
I
my
won.
God, brilliant.
I won. It was me. Just kidding.
Lies.
Totally.
If you guys have never played Cards of Humanity before, this game can get obviously pretty vulgar, but it is hilarious in like a group setting of like 4 people, and you guys all give your random card answer. If you've never played Cards of Humanity, you should.
And if you do play, please remember to keep social distance at 2 meters at all time.
Tasteful side boob.
You know what? I just realized, like, frolicking and same-sex ice dancing is the same thing, only in one you're wearing shoes with knives on them. Just realized that. Glad I didn't pick both of them.
I need to get these cards. Erica, you do, because it's super fun. Like, really fun.
If ever you have any card games or any also ideas on how we can make the show even more fun, we always look for something at the end to either say or leave people with. So any ideas at any time, please feel free to text us now or later, in terms of how we can make the show better for you, and also what are the things that you like to hear from the show, so that we can.
And kids should also not play Cards of Humanity.
Yeah, they totally should. If
There's
I
even
was
an
a kid,
age
I would play.
thing on the box.
Oh, that's not bad. You don't have to be
17 plus.
17 plus. Okay, that's good. That's.
I would have. I don't know. I'm all for children swearing, but I probably would make a terrible parent.
Or the best.
Come on, kids, let's go downtown and swear. Yeah, that would be me.
Strip poker. Wow, Mariana, very nice. Let me think about that.
We spend a little while.
Yeah, you're my kind of
longer
people,
than
Mariana.
So, the game of things is fun too. Okay, perfect. Pretty cool. Matthew, any last words for today or things to launch out?
Sure. Yeah. So I guess what we can sum up from all of the things that we talked about today is we can all have an oversized lollipop, but if we do, we can only have
just